अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नम ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधारा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। Now we are going to chant japa. So for those of you who already know how to chant and those who attended last week, so you know it. So this is the beats. You hold the bead on your middle finger and using the thumb, now we are going to start counting and chanting. So you place it here and now you chant with me. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So like that, you chant every day. Thank you all for joining. How many of you have started to chant? Or at least, how many of you chant once? Fantastic. Good, 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 good. I have 5 hands here. Srijan, Rajesh, anyone else? Nayonika, anyone else have chanted before? Preeti, good. Arya, anyone else? Yes. Who's AB?
Anamika.
Just a second. Go on.
Anamika.
Anamika. Very good, Anamika. Did I miss out anyone? Anyone else have started to chant regularly? Okay, if you haven't, Apeksha, thank you. So if you haven't actually started to chant, please do regularly. As I said, theory can only take us only so far. Theoretical knowledge, which we gain, will only teach us what to do, but we have to actually do it. So you can take your hands off your beats. So every week before we start the class, we'll be chanting. Okay, so that's the idea. So today we are going to get started with a very interesting topic, one of the most often used and familiar topic, and one of the least understood, misunderstood topic on yoga. Take your hands out, don't chant when I speak. One of our teachers used to tell us, when you chant, attending a class, you offend 2 people. One is Krishna himself, because you are chanting his name. Second is you are teaching, you are offending the teacher as well. On a more personal level, you offend the holy name of Krishna and you offend the instructions of Krishna. Both are important. So when you are in class, you hear. Outside of class, class is only for 1 hour. You have 23 hours. How long does it take to chant one round? 10 minutes, 12 minutes? So we can easily do. It's not very hard. Okay, so today we are going to get started with a very interesting topic, yoga. If I ask you yoga, or you go to anyone in the streets and ask them yoga, first thing which, or first answer you would normally hear people say is, it's an exercise. It's for bodily fitness. Some people would say even it's for good sex lives. Some may say this is something very ancient. You may sit for meditation. So everyone has their own conception of what is yoga. We all can have our own idea, but if we really want to understand what the truth is, then we have to turn to the pages of scriptures, Shastra. So today we are going to discuss 3 things primarily. One is to understand what yoga is. That's what we are going to get started. Second one is we'll discuss about the different types of yoga. So you're going to progress that way. And finally, we are going to come to what is the best of all the yogas. Okay, so that's what we're going to cover. And I'm going to take all your questions as well. All in next to 15 minutes. It's a very overambitious target, but we can try how much we can do. Yoga, it comes from a Sanskrit word root, yuj. Yuj means to connect. Connect means we always talk about at least 2 things. You can connect many things, at least you need 2 things, bare minimum. You can connect 3 things, 4 things, 5 things, doesn't matter. But at least you need to talk about 2 things here whenever you talk about the word connecting, correct? You can't connect something with itself. It's a short circuit. So connecting 2 things. Before we go to the most perfect definition of yoga, let's start with something which is even more basic. We have been discussing about this point using chariot example about us. So we have 3 aspects to our existence. One is the gross physical body. We all have our different senses. We discussed about 5 senses. So that's on one level, we have a physical existence. Slightly, if we go deeper, we have a mental existence or subtle existence also. Our mind is there, intelligence is there as well at that level, ego as well. You go even more deeper, we have a spiritual existence, and that's our real self, which is the soul. Understand? So we have, when I talk Ghanashyam, it's me, or I talk Kittu, or Tarun, Santosh, Rahul, everyone, Salan, Rashika. I'm slowly getting used to everyone's names. So if we talk about the aspect of ourselves, we mean all the three. Okay, we mean, when I say Ghanashyam, I mean my body, I mean my mind intelligence as well as my soul. But in the strictest sense, Ghanashyam is the soul, because body at some point will die. I'll move on. Even this body, remember we were discussing, initially we used to have a small baby body. What happened to that? Sometimes have you got this experience? You look at your own picture, photo taken when you are a child, and you look at it and you look like, that looks very cute. How many of you have that experience? We all have. We look very cute when we are young, correct? But what happened to that body? Gone. Understand? So we are not this body. So when we say, I am this body, there is some truth in it, but not full truth. What we are actually is the soul. At this point of time, we are carrying this body. At this point of time, we are carrying intelligence, mind as well. So we collectively call ourselves as this is me. But actually, this is me applies strictly only for soul. Okay, so now yoga, a very, very basic definition is the process how you connect between three aspects of our existence. In other words, the process with which you connect your body, your mind, and your soul. Have you got this experience? Sometimes you sit in a classroom. I hope it doesn't happen now. Sometimes you sit in a classroom, your mind is somewhere and your body alone is sitting here. How many of you have that experience? All the time. You may be talking with someone and you say, can you please repeat that? What does that mean? You didn't run away. You were sitting only right there, but mind has gone somewhere. You understand? Which means we are not in yoga. Does it make sense? Same way, you go much more deeper, spiritual. How often are we even conscious that we are not the body, we are the soul? Rarely. Maybe whenever you come to temple, that if you come and attend the class. Otherwise, you come to temple, take darshan, go take prasad, and you go. Still in bodily consciousness only. Prasadam. Not bad, at least it's spiritual food. So normally, if you see our state of consciousness, it doesn't allow us, because we are in a very, very passionate mode, it doesn't allow us to harmonize these three aspects of us. Okay, even on a physical level. Our body is doing something same way. Sometimes your body may be moving. Have you got that experience? You leave early in the morning, but then your mom said, hey, come in the afternoon. You're going for playing, come in the afternoon. I'm going to cook a special dish. In this case, your body will keep moving. Your mind will be fixed in the home, correct? In the kitchen. So we have experience of body being fixed in one place, mind running somewhere. We have also got an experience of mind fixed in one place and body running somewhere else. Between these two, what is better? Actually, both are bad. Best thing is when our body, mind, and soul, all three are harmonized and all three are focused on one single activity. That is best. Understand? So, on a fundamental level, yoga means to connect our body, mind, and soul, all three. This is a starting point. Next level, which is the more deeper level, which is the complete definition of yoga, is when once we bring about harmony between these three aspects of us, now we try to connect our soul to the Supreme Soul, soul to Krishna. Understand? That is the deepest, most complete meaning of yoga. When we say yuj, to connect means, as I said, within ourselves, we need to have our body, mind, and intelligence connected. Body, mind, intelligence, and soul connected. But on a more deeper, complete, most perfect definition of yoga is when that soul, which is us, is connected with Krishna. So that process by which our soul, our Atma gets connected to Krishna, that process is called yoga. So whenever you come across this term yoga, in an authentic sense, okay, these days you go, they call everything yoga, food yoga, hot yoga, cold yoga, shower yoga. They are not authentic. That doesn't connect anything with anything. Okay, so it only increases our bill, electricity bill, utility bill. But the real meaning of yoga means to connect our soul with the super soul, with Supreme Soul, with Krishna. Okay, so that process is called yoga. Now, this connection you can achieve by four different means, four different ways. If you attain this connection, when you establish this connection, when this yoga is established by means of your work, that is called karma yoga, yoga of work. But the same connection, if you can bring about by cultivating knowledge about Krishna, that becomes Jnana Yoga. The same connection, if you bring about by going through different steps to control your breath, to sit in meditation, go to Samadhi, that process is known as Hatha Yoga or Dhyana Yoga or Ashtanga Yoga, which is the normal, most popular form of yoga which we come across. And that connection between us and Krishna, if you establish by love and devotion, by performing bhakti, that is known as Bhakti Yoga. Understand? So in all of this, the common denominator there is connection, because yoga is coming. So there's only 4 types of yoga: Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, also known as Dhyana Yoga, also known as Hatha Yoga. Okay, all 3 means the same. There is a meaning. I'll come to that shortly. And then you have Bhakti Yoga. There's only 4 types altogether. Karma Yoga. Yoga means to establish the connection. When you connect with the Krishna by doing your work, that is Karma Yoga. When you connect with Krishna, when your soul connects with the Krishna by cultivating knowledge about Krishna, that becomes Jnana Yoga, Yoga of knowledge. That connection, if you bring about by doing a certain process of Ashtanga, like pranayama, to control the mind, to do asanas, to meditate on the Lord sitting in one place, then that process of connecting with the Supreme Lord by means of dhyana is known as Ashtanga Yoga or Hatha Yoga. And that same connection, if you establish by performing bhakti, by offering our love and devotion to Krishna, that becomes Bhakti Yoga. So there is only 4 primary types of yoga. Understand? 4 authentic yoga. There are spin-offs from each one of this, but as I said, there is only 4 that is authorized. Even according to Patanjali Yoga Sutra also, there is only 4 types. Okay. There are some variations to this, you will see. Okay, like supplementary aspects are there, but they are the 4 broad category. Any yoga you bring, we can put in any one of these 4. Understand? So in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna speaks on all these 4 yogas only. Okay, now let's go a bit more deeper. What is Karma Yoga? Normally, any activity that we do, okay, some of you are studying, some of you are working, some of you are working and studying. Why do you work? Because you're so passionate about it? Definitely not. The moment they actually stop paying you, you will stop going. Agree? So the sole motive for us to work is to earn money. Why do you want to earn money? To enjoy. Let's be very clear. Okay, that enjoyment can come in different means. Okay, you want to build a house, you want to marry, you want to buy an iPhone, you want to buy a vehicle, whatever it may be. The means may be slightly varying, but the end goal is always the same, which is we want to enjoy. Let's be very clear. Imagine today you go to college and they say, by the way, Australian government has already deprecated this degree. It doesn't work anymore. You cannot find any job for this degree at all. Do you think any student will go and get that degree? Definitely not. So why do you study? Again, it comes back to our enjoyment only. So I can study well, so I can get a proper job, so I can earn more money. And then again, same thing follows. So everything, if you see, the motivation is always to enjoy only. Understand? Whether we agree, whether we realize or not, that's a different thing. But the prime motive why we do our work, any kind of work, can be studying. Imagine if you start to clean your room and somebody comes and tells you, hey, if you finish cleaning the room, you are going to feel very sad. Do you think you will continue to do? Of course, nobody is going to tell you, you still clean your room, but I'm giving you an idea. Any activity, cooking, you know what? After at the end of this cooking, you're going to feel miserable. If somebody tells you that, and if you realize like that, do you think you'll continue cooking? Definitely not. Any activity that you do, relationship, same way. If you think, no, if I go establish a relationship with this person, it's going to cost me so much pain only. Do you think you will continue to? No, no, definitely not. So any action that we do, the prime motive is always to enjoy. But the problem is, at some point, whatever we think as the source of enjoyment end up causing us so much pain also later. How many of you have this experience? We try, we establish a relationship, could be cooking. You have all this, or you go and watch a movie. I've given this example. You see the trailer, which always is the best part of the movie. And you expect to have some big expectations, and you go and watch and you're halfway through and you think, oh my God, why did I come here? When is this movie going to finish? Understand? So the whole motive for our any activity is to find out if I can derive some happiness from that. But despite our best effort, despite us putting a lot of effort in doing an activity, it doesn't always guarantee that we are going to enjoy, we are going to happy at the end, to be happy at the end. Agree? So introducing Karma Yoga. In Karma Yoga, the whole idea here is somebody is not a devotee of Krishna, so they can't completely surrender to Krishna, but they understand that, okay, I have taken the best step forward in my life. Despite me trying my best, somehow or other, my life always ends up in misery. Why is this happening? And if they gain some knowledge, because you are so much attached to the results, that's why. So then the person comes to the conclusion, okay, I just want to do my duty only. Whether I get the result or not, it's not in my control. I'll just do my duty. So when the person changes the motive from only wanting to enjoy to come to a position wherein, okay, at least let me do my duty and let's see where life goes. Okay, I'm not so much bothered about the results. Okay, I'm happy to let go of the result. That's the starting point. That's where Karma Yoga starts to be practiced by such a person. Understand? That is Karma Yoga. Okay, that's the first step. Second step, if somebody actually goes beyond that and they think actually studying about shastras and everything, one comes to the conclusion, by the way, looks like I'm not this body. No matter how much I try to enjoy, I cannot, because anyway I'm going to get old. What's the point in working all this? Spending so much time working, studying, what's the point in maintaining this body when I can just cultivate and I can understand it's just the mind that is actually pushing me to work? So let me just cultivate this knowledge, and that way let me be detached completely. In this way, because I don't have any desire at all, I don't need to work, I'm happy with whatever life gives me. Have you come across people like that? There are people, you will think, these people have no ambitions in life. You will come across people like that. Okay, they are like more like a jnana platform, but when they cultivate the knowledge about Krishna, not just studying newspaper, online magazines like that, cultivating knowledge about Supreme means to study the Shastra. Then they come to the platform of Jnana Yoga, wherein through knowledge, through cultivation of knowledge, they establish the connection. Now, one level further, which is the most famous type of yoga, most popular, Dhyana Yoga. If you're interested to know more about this particular type of yoga, Krishna dedicates a whole chapter on Bhagavad Gita, chapter 6. You can read. You can just read the translation. We'll be discussing more about it. You'll understand what are all the do's and don'ts that are there. So let's delve a bit more deeper, because given its popularity, we also need to know a bit more. Dhyana Yoga, also known as Ashtanga Yoga. Dhyana means what? Meditation. So that yoga, that connection which you bring by sitting in meditation and meditating on Krishna, you have a certain connection that way. You understand? So that's called Dhyana Yoga. But to come to that position of to be in a samadhi, to focus our mind completely. If I tell you right now, all of you close your eyes, and then everyone closes their eyes. All of you, please think about Krishna. And I keep quiet for next half an hour. Most of you will start to sleep. That's the first thing. Second, everyone except Krishna, you will be remembering, correct? This is our mind. The mind always goes. You can open your eyes. So, for sitting in one place and focusing is not easy. There is a certain process for it. If you follow that process, if you gain that strength and stamina to be able to do, then we can do. Okay, last week in the temple, whoever who attended, you might be familiar with this. We were discussing about how in previous ages, there are 4 yuga, it's called, like the age that you study in history books. Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, and Kali Yuga. Satya Yuga, the time when people used to live for 100,000 years, they would spend 60,000 years to master, guess what? Ashtanga Yoga. Because Ashtanga Yoga, first of all, it's not just a 2-minute noodle. You can just sit in one place, close your eyes, and then you go into trance. It doesn't work like that. The trance comes only at the 8th step. That's why it is also called by another name, Ashtanga Yoga. Ashta means 8. Anga means limbs. There are 8 limbs or 8 steps in the practice of this yoga. What are these 8 steps? Let's start one after the other. First one is called Yama. Yama means Yama, Y-A-M-A. Yama means things which you are not supposed to do. Okay, if I tell you as a student, are there things which you are not supposed to do? Maybe yes, you are not supposed to copy someone else's answers. You understand? You are not supposed to be absent from the class all the time. You understand? There are some, likewise, if I tell you as a citizen of this country or as a resident of this country, are there some do's and don'ts? Yes. Are there some things which you are not supposed to do as a child, as a son? Yes. You are not supposed to speak disrespectfully to your parents. You understand? So with any role that you take, there is always some things you are supposed to do and things you are not supposed to do. Same way you may be working. What are the things you are not supposed to do? Don't go late for work. Understand? Don't talk on phone all the time during work. Not allowed. Like this, you will come across do's and don'ts in many different processes. Likewise, in Ashtanga Yoga also, first step is don't do this. What are the don'ts for Ashtanga Yoga? First thing is don't stay in home. Very difficult. But this is what they used to do. Have you seen in old movies or stories you might have heard? There was one king, and at the end of his life, he just left his home, went to the forest, and he sat in meditation like that. First step is you cannot stay in home. Don't stay in home. Okay, you cannot have sexual life. Don't have sex with people. Don't eat very luxuriously or dress very luxuriously, very opulently. You are supposed to simply subsist with fruits and roots that are available in the forest. So like this, there are things which are not, you are not supposed to do. They are called yama. That's the first step. So you practice all of that. So slowly. Second step is niyama. Niyama means things you are supposed to do. If you are a dhyana yogi, you are supposed to take bath 3 times a day. If you are a dhyana yogi, you are supposed to maintain celibacy. Celibacy means no disturbance in terms of your thoughts when it comes to thinking about opposite sex. Okay, so yama, niyama. Niyama means things which are not, comes at, you need to. So yama, niyama. Yama means things you are not supposed to do. Niyama means things you are supposed to do. Okay, like as I said, you are supposed to worship Krishna all the time, 3 times a day at least it's given. You are supposed to meditate all the time. Like that, there are different steps given. So yama, niyama. Third step is asana, which is the most popular limb of Ashtanga Yoga we come across these days. That is when you start to flex your muscles. Okay, different asanas. There are 8.4 million species in this world. 8.4 million species means there are so many aquatics, so many different types of animals, so many different types of plants, different birds, different worms. It's given different types. 8.4 million species we have those many asanas also, those many postures. Each posture is almost modeled on each one of the different species. Okay, so yama, niyama, asana. Once you go through these 3 steps, then only you go to the 4th step, which is pranayama. That's when you will see people sitting in pranayam. Oh, that takes such a long time. Breathing out and then breathing in. Understand? So pranayama means you breathe in, one breath you take long, and then you hold the breath inside, and then you let it out slowly. So one breath people will do for hours. Okay, so this one they practice because they need it for meditation. Because if you have to meditate, your mind has to be peaceful. If your mind has to be peaceful, your breath has to be peaceful. I gave this example before. Next time you are mentally disturbed or you observe someone else who is little disturbed, you see how their breathing pattern is. Okay, they'll be huffing and puffing. They'll have very short breaths. On the other hand, when you try to even say, oh, when you are little disturbed, you can't actually say for long. Very difficult. But when your mind is very peaceful, when your breath is controlled, it becomes very easy to focus on that. Understand? So this is 4th step, pranayama. So these 4 steps are to do primarily with our body. We still haven't come to the mind. 5th step is when you start with the mind, pratyahara. Pratyahara means mind goes here, there. You try to catch the mind and you bring the mind back. That's pratyahara. Then next step, pratyahara, dharana. Dharana means now you have caught the mind back. Now you fix the mind on Krishna. That's the 6th step. Dhyana. Now you meditate on Krishna. And samadhi. Then you go to trance. You come across the stories of some sages sitting in meditation and they have an ant hill around them. They can't even feel whatever that's happening around. That's in samadhi stage. Now, to do all this, how many years will it take? 60,000 years it will take. So that's what the Shastras say. This is not for Kali Yuga. People sometimes they pick and choose. They think, oh, I'll only do pranayama and everything will be fine. It won't work. Okay, you may have a good time. No, I'll just sit in meditation. You can have a power nap and you'll feel fresh. That is okay. That's how much you can do. You cannot go any more deeper. It's not spiritual. You cannot connect with Krishna that way. It's not possible. Same way, somebody may say, I'm actually going to do asanas, different yogic postures. They are good when it comes to fitness, but that's all it can give. It's not spiritual still. It can only help your physical body. It won't even help your mental body. Understand? So this is the third type of yoga. Third type of yoga is Ashtanga yoga or Dhyana yoga. And now comes the fourth type of yoga, which is called Bhakti yoga. Bhakti yoga means the same connection with Krishna you bring about by your offering of love and devotion to Krishna. And that offering of love and devotion can be through singing, you can cook. Last week we saw some of you dancing nicely for Krishna's pleasure. Like that, you may talk about Krishna, you can sing for Krishna, eat for Krishna, work for Krishna. We have our media team, few youth who are overseas, they do all the work, they do the editing. Speaking is very easy, actually, from my side, but they do all the editing and they post it, they run the whole media channel and everything. So everything is a service in this way, understand? So of these four different types of yoga, Karma yoga, then you have Jnana yoga, Ashtanga yoga, and Bhakti yoga. Krishna himself says, after speaking all four, he says Bhakti yoga is the topmost. Why? First thing Krishna says, Bhakti yoga is the easiest to perform. If somebody comes to temple and eat prasad, they do Bhakti yoga. Is this difficult? No. Somebody can sit in your home. You can still take some prasad and give them. They eat. Is that difficult? No. Somebody just goes, looks at a photo of Krishna and they say, this photo looks very beautiful. Is it difficult? Definitely not. So Krishna says, Tasyaham Sulabha Partha. Sulabha means very effortlessly you can do, very easily you can do. So it will give you the topmost benefit. At the same time, it is the easiest process to follow. Krishna speaks 18 chapters in Bhagavad Gita. Of 18 chapters, Krishna dedicates 6 whole chapters from chapter 7 to 12 only exclusively discussing about Bhakti Yoga. Other places also he speaks about it, but the middle 6 chapters he exclusively speaks only about Bhakti Yoga. Okay, so Krishna himself, who is the author of all the different processes of yoga, he himself recommends after telling everything. Now you may ask, if Krishna says Bhakti Yoga is the topmost, why did he speak about other types of yoga? Because Krishna is the all-loving Father. He wants to still attract everyone. Some people, you just tell them, okay, practice Bhakti Yoga. So what do we do in Bhakti Yoga? You tell them, we chant japa, we offer prayer, you eat prasad. That's it. We say, that's it. Oh, this is too simple for me. Understand? Some people, they can't take things as simple. Some people have a certain mentality. No, I'm not a devotee. I like working. Okay, fine. Krishna says, okay, start from Karma Yoga. Some people may say, no, I like just reading. Okay, read Karma Yoga. Some people say, no, my mind is very disturbed. I want to only do pranayama, dhyana, some asana and everything. Krishna says, do. But whichever process you actually do, until you come to the process of bhakti, you cannot actually go back to spiritual world. You will take birth again. Whereas Prabhupada would say, Bhakti Yoga is like, other yogas are like taking steps of a ladder. Bhakti Yoga is like getting on an elevator. You don't need to go one floor after the other. Go inside, push a button, lift will take you. Very easy. In one place, Prabhupada says that Dhyana yogis or Ashtanga yogis, they follow monkey style. Devotees, they follow cat style. Monkeys, if you see, how do they carry their babies? The baby monkey is holding on to the mother monkey. So when mother monkey jumps from one branch to the other, baby monkey can actually let loose sometime and it may fall. So Prabhupada says, Ashtanga yogis or Hatha yogis, they are trying to attain perfection based on their own strength. On the other hand, if you take Bhakti yogis, they surrender to Krishna, take shelter of Srimati Radharani, Krishna, and Radha Krishna actually carries. Just like how a baby kitten, have you seen baby kitten being carried? A cat would actually catch hold of the kitten. Kitten won't do any job, it will just be dangling like this. Have you seen it? It doesn't do. So in same way, in Bhakti Yoga also, we don't worry so much. We simply chant Krishna's name. We discuss Krishna's glories. We do all the activities also. There is cultivation of knowledge in this. There is aspect of work in this. There is an aspect of meditation also in this. So all different aspects of yoga is also included in Bhakti Yoga, but Bhakti Yoga gives us even more. It gives us the ultimate benefit. Okay, so this is how Krishna establishes the supremacy of Bhakti Yoga. We'll be delving more into the different aspects of Bhakti Yoga and Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga in future classes. So from now on, the format of the class will be, we'll be taking one verse in every class, different verses for different class based on the topic, and then we'll be going deeper into the verse. So your introduction class technically will actually finish in next session. It's theoretical, can be boring, can be dry, but this is the ABCs. We need to know what is yoga, because next time you come across yoga, you walk down the street and you come across something, food yoga. Then you ask them, are you serving prasad? They say no. Then it's not a food yoga. You can just reject it and you can move on. This may be food yoga, may be a name of the shop. It's not really yoga. I remember in Chatswood, there is a shop by name Material World. The whole shop name is Material World actually. And I was looking, what are they selling? They just sell some rugs and cloth. So they call that material, right? Rug material. So they call it Material World. You have seen it? Yeah, it's in the corner actually, where you go to the Victoria Road, you will see that actually, Victoria Street, I think. So you will come across names of shops like that, but they are all fancy names, but they don't really live up to their name, so to speak. Okay, I'll stop here. Any questions? Online, offline? Let's get started. I'll ask anyone here. Any question? Okay, online, do any of you have it? Yes, go on, Kitu.
So for Bhakti Yoga, so what are the steps Krishna had mentioned? Like
Why
what
is
should
it
we
so
be?
hard? Good question. Controlling mind is not easy. If I tell you to, let's say, to catch a cow, relatively it's easy. Cow usually don't run fast. If I tell you to catch a horse, difficult. If I tell you to catch a cheetah, very difficult. If I tell you to catch a rhino, even more difficult. Mind, most difficult, because mind travels so fast. Here, from there to there, no reason. It just travels. Have you got that experience? Sometimes you do here, there, One of my friends was telling me, he was traveling in train, and a couple of university kids, they were holding their phone, and they looked at reel 1 second, third, like every 10 seconds. Why are they doing? Even they don't know. They are searching for something, but if you ask them, what are you searching for? I don't know. Okay, because mind is so active, so dynamic, so much running here and there, catching hold of mind and dealing with mind directly is difficult. That's why last week when we were discussing about Japa Yoga, we were telling that's why we don't directly deal with mind, because catching hold, you don't know where your mind is. You know where your eyes is, correct? So you can close your eyes. You can't close your eyes, at least use your hands to close. Even people who don't have hands, they can do something like that. Try closing your mind's ears, it's not possible. Now, because we don't know where it is, we don't even know who we are dealing with. So catching hold of him is very, very difficult. But in order to do that, you have to go from gross to subtle. Gross means first you control to sit in one place for a long time. Okay. Have your back straight. Meditate. Normally, when we close our eyes, we'll go to sleep. That's why Krishna, if you read Bhagavad Gita, he says one should not close one's eyes. One should be gazing at the tip of their nose, like that it's given. Krishna has said that, because we tend to sleep. The moment you close your eyes, you will tend to sleep. I remember one person I was actually giving the class, he said, this afternoon, I actually went to the park. I closed my eyes. I don't know what I did. After 10 minutes, I felt fresh. I told them, congratulations. That's called a power nap. So of course you'll feel fresh. So that's not a big achievement. Normally, nighttime also you get much more longer sleep, much more longer meditation. That's not meditation. Meditation means your mind should be fixed on something sublime. Okay, the topmost sublime thing is Krishna. Sublime personality is Krishna. So mind, when it gets hooked on to Krishna without wavering here, there, that is called as samadhi. Now to attain that, if you are directly dealing with the mind, it is difficult. That's why when we go for japa, we chant the names of Krishna and we have 3 of the 5 senses engaged. What are the 3 senses which are engaged when we chant with the beats? Hearing, tongue, yes, touching, good. Okay, so these 3 senses are already engaged in it. There's only 2 more senses. Nose, usually nose is like, very sadhu. It doesn't cause us much trouble. Okay, likewise, sense of hearing, seeing. You can easily close your eyes and you can chant if you want to. Or you can even go for a walk. We call it japa walk. Go to the park and you can chant, no problem. It's easy to control. Understand? So in this way, you first same effect which yogis achieved in those day and time, you attain it now simply by chanting Hare Krishna. In this way, you engage all the senses. You bring the senses under control. Naturally, if you look at the chariot example, suddenly the horses are behaving very nice. Do you think is there much work for the rope now? No. Understand? Because we are controlling the horses by means of chanting japa. Horses suddenly they go very sadhu. Intelligence is, I can also take a nap. It doesn't have much job to do. Mind also doesn't have much job to do because mind is needed only when the senses go wild to pull here, there. Now, when the senses are actually acting very nicely, there's not much need for the rope. Have you come across sometimes, even in from your hometown place, some cows, they actually act bit wild. So you need to tie them with the rope and everything. There are some cows, you can let loose, they won't run anywhere. Have you come across that? They'll just happily go. Same way, our senses, which are like the horses, are also like that. Okay, once you control them, keep them under control, then it becomes very easy. Mind's job also becomes very easy. Intelligence job is also become very easy. Okay. Anyone from online? Yes, Rahul.
Prabhuji, so from my understanding, you can practice like you can do like karma yoga and then you can do bhakti yoga together and then you can progress spiritually. So brahmacharis such as yourself, what is the yoga that you're practicing on a day-to-day life?
Good question. So first to go to the first aspect of your question. So question here is, so we can easily do karma yoga and bhakti yoga together and progress. Point is, if you do bhakti yoga, karma yoga is already involved in it. Correct? We all do our duty. Definitely. Okay, you may be chanting sometime during the day, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, half an hour, 1 hour, you may chant. Rest of the day, maybe studying, working, you are still behaving well, you are still respectful to towards your parents, every duty you are still performing. So, bhakti yoga itself includes karma yoga. You don't need to do it separately. Bhakti yoga itself includes jnana yoga also. We are discussing about Krishna. We also study Shastra. Understand? So there is a jnana aspect also in this. There is a fitness aspect also in this. We'll come to that later. We also deal with a lot of mind. We also meditate on Krishna. Like for example, today is Friday. Normally Friday, what do people do? Thank God it's Friday. There is a phrase like that. Correct? TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. Normally people, what do? They sit in home and sleep or watch a movie. What are you guys all doing here? Online, everywhere. You understand? There is a certain amount of meditation that's there. Today, Friday, all right. I will attend the class. Understand? There is a certain meditation that's involved. Same way, if I tell you, last week you all came to the temple, you'll be thinking about Krishna. Even after you went back, you'll be thinking about it. Yeah, I actually met that Prabhu or that Mataji, that boy, that girl. I took darshan of Krishna. I took prasad. I danced for Krishna like that. So there is a lot of meditation that goes, not only for you, for me as well. Before coming to class, I have to think, okay, today students will come. I have to say this, say that. There is a lot of meditation even. When somebody is cooking prasad for us, do you think they just go throw everything? What are you cooking? I don't know. They just keep throwing. No, there is also a lot of meditation there. Does that make sense? Same way, somebody making garland, there is a meditation there. Somebody going and dressing Krishna, there is a certain meditation there. Understand? So there is aspect of dhyana yoga also in it. Now, to answer your question, what practice do brahmacharis follow? We follow bhakti yoga, but that includes everything. So, okay. So even as brahmacharis, technically we are not required to work, but we work. Technically required to work means I work for a corporate company. Actually, I work as a senior software developer. So here we don't shy away from karma. You understand? But here I work not to build a house for myself. I work so I can support the project of rebuilding this temple. We are going to knock it down and we are going to rebuild the temple here. Same place. Okay, proper traditional temple. Okay, so each one of us, we actually try to do whatever we can do. So in this way, Bhakti yogis, they actually do Karma Yoga, they do Jnana Yoga, they do Ashtanga Yoga, and they also do Bhakti Yoga. Okay, so it's like one single yoga that covers everything else. But Karma Yoga doesn't cover Bhakti Yoga. May or may not. Somebody may be a Karma Yogi and may actually do some Bhakti. Same way Jnana Yogis. Somebody may actually do Jnana Yoga, they may do Bhakti or may not. But Bhakti Yogi means one who does all of them. All the three plus so much more. In fact, here we do duty not because we are scared of the result. Remember, we do duty. Why? Because we want to please Krishna. Understand? Here also we do duty. It's like going to school or going to college. Why? If I don't go, they'll fail me in this semester. That's one level of working. Other level of working is, have you come across this experience? All of us in our experience as students, you'll always find some sincere front benchers who'll be very interested to know. We sit there and we think, when is the class going to finish? Correct? So we can go out. This is what normally we think. But there's a difference between them and us. You understand? They actually really go in and they study. When they come out, they are fully educated, whereas our connection is very weak. So Karma Yoga, even though we use the term yoga, there is a connection with Krishna, but this connection is weak. How weak is it? Same level of connection, which a student who is very zombie-like just goes reluctantly studies. How much do you think he'll learn? There is, you can call yourself also a student. Not much though. You didn't achieve much. You understand? Bhakti Yoga has the most deepest, tightest, closest connection with Krishna. Whereas Karma Yoga has a connection, but very loose. Okay, I'll give you another example. You may love everyone, but you love your own family members more, correct? You may be friends with your neighbors. Okay, you love them, doesn't mean you hate them. You love your family members, you love your neighbors also. But the level of connection, the depth of connection, thickness of the connection is so much more different. Understand? There's a gulf of difference between them. That's the difference. Okay, I have some 3 hands here. First, we'll start with Pradeep Mishra.
Yeah, I have 2 questions. One question is
just one second, Pradeep. Yeah, go on.
Yeah. One question is about, remember when you were talking about Karma Yoga, you mentioned, let's say we go to work because of enjoyment, right? So not necessarily just for enjoyment, but it could be like maybe you're not in for enjoyment, but you are there just to support your family members or just to support your livelihood, right? So that you can actually live, and so that then probably you can do the devotion with the God, right? Because if you don't work, if you
Absolutely.
don't earn, then how would you do that?
Correct. See, there is direct enjoyment and there is extended enjoyment. Imagine, going by your statement, if I tell you, all right, you are allowed to work, but you can work only for your family. You cannot even take a cent for yourself. No, that won't be acceptable to us, because our point is, if I'm doing it for my family, let me also enjoy there. What's the problem? So it can be either direct that way, or I'll give you another example. There was one politician in India. He made a favor to his son by giving him a contract for which he lost his post. Now, in this case, he didn't do anything for himself. He did it only for his son. But why do you punish him? Will that be acceptable to you? No. Because actually by doing favor to his son will enjoy. Looking at him, he will also enjoy. So there is a moral responsibility there. That's why you kick the politician out of the post. It had happened. So many times it has happened. It has happened even in Australia. Understand? So enjoyment, for some it's direct. For some it is indirect. In any case, enjoyment is enjoyment. The question here is whether you are working for Krishna or we are working for ourselves. So Bhakti Yoga allows, as you rightly said, it allows everything. You can still work. You can still enjoy the fruits of the results. You can still take care of your family. But as you rightly said, in addition to all of this, do your chanting japa and do your love and devotion. Then the whole thing gets counted as Bhakti Yoga. Understand? Whereas one who doesn't turn towards Krishna and they think, okay, I will deal with my life. That's the thing Prabhupada actually says. That's like monkey style. Baby monkey trying to jump over from one branch to the other with its own strength. We can't do. But if On top of whatever that we do, if we simply add Krishna, Prabhupada says Bhakti Yoga means it's very simple. Whatever you do in your life, just add Krishna to it. See, even before we came to Bhakti, we were all eating tasty food. Now, all we say is, you cook nice tasty food, offer it to Krishna first and then you take it. Krishna is very gentlemanly. He doesn't take even 1 grain with him. You understand? Imagine you go, take the food to Krishna. Krishna, I'm offering prayer. Please accept it. And Krishna says, oh, Pradeep, I'm so pleased with you. I take everything. Then you feel like, Krishna, next time do you think you'll ever take it to him? We won't. But Krishna is very merciful. Krishna can eat with his eyes and he spiritualizes the food. By doing that, what happens to us is we get free from the karma of killing the plants. Okay, and then we take it. So adding Krishna to everything is actually not difficult. It's very, very easy. Okay, likewise, you like to hear music. You hear whatever music you like. On top of it, also hear Krishna music. Same way, you like to go to so many places. In addition to that, also include temple also as one of the place. You like meeting with so many people, good. In addition to that, come and meet with Bhakti Yogis also. That's all. You understand? So simply we are extending the circle of our friends, circle of our life slightly. There are so many people we have included, just include Krishna alone inside. And if you do that, as you rightly said, we'll be practicing Bhakti Yoga very effortlessly. We don't need to make much change to what we are doing already. That's all. Okay, good question.
Okay. Yeah, so another thing was just related to that. So what are the steps involved in ensuring that we are doing Bhakti Yoga correctly? You mentioned already a few points in it,
Yeah.
but is there any set rules or regulations that needs to be followed so that we can be sure that yes, we are doing Bhakti Yoga correctly?
Fantastic. Yes, there is. Stay tuned for our future courses. Next
Okay.
week, I'll be giving some practical aspects which you can start with. We will take it step by step. But as you rightly said, yes, there are rules. But beauty of Bhakti Yoga is there are rules. You try to follow as much as you can. And you can take baby steps slowly that way. Understand? It's not like you either do this, then you are Bhakti Yogi. If you don't do this, then you are not Bhakti Yogi. It's not like that. Krishna is a very loving God. Krishna is not a punishing God. One point you have to understand, because if Krishna punishes, we'll go and complain to his mother. we can go complain to Srimati Radharani. So Krishna is a very, very loving God. Krishna says the rules, but Krishna also, you can read the 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. It comes under Bhakti Yoga only. All of them is Bhakti Yoga, but exclusively they speak. You read the 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, it has got only 20 verses. One of the shortest chapters of Bhagavad Gita. You read just the translation and you will be amazed how much accommodating Krishna is. Okay, so to answer you, yes, there are rules, but we don't need to be scared with rules. It's not like all or nothing. Krishna also allows us, tells these are the rules, but you do how much ever you can, slowly, like that. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Arya. Next, AB. AB is what? Anamika. Correct? Okay, good. I'm getting the names now. Then Nayonika. I'm going left to right in my laptop. Arya, next.
So my question is, so it's about Dana Yoga. We talked about the controlling of mind. So I've heard one of the Prabhuji on YouTube talking about the working of mind and brain, how it's different and they are not related. So what does the Vedic scripture says about that?
Good question.
The mind and brain working.
Very good question. Normally, when it comes to thinking, we normally say it's our brains, it's our mind. Normally, we say brains. If somebody does something stupid, we usually chastise them even. Do you have brains? Or do you have a blockhead? Which means there's no brains inside. So, what is mind and what is brain? We discussed in the very first class, soul is so tiny. How tiny is it? Anyone remembers? What's the dimension of the soul? Yeah, 1/10,000th part of the tip of the head. Very, very tiny. Soul is inside. Even though the soul is in the region of our heart, soul extends its energy throughout the body, which we call as consciousness. Okay, so the energy of the soul is called consciousness. And the jurisdiction or the boundary of that consciousness is wherever my body finishes. I was even giving example. If I sit right next to you and I actually prick you with the pain, only you will feel the pain. I won't feel the pain. If I have headache, only I will feel. You won't. Understand? So soul is in one place. Consciousness spreads throughout the body. So the consciousness, root of the consciousness, origin of consciousness is the soul. This soul, it extends its energy, which is consciousness, which extends throughout the body. So soul is the origin of consciousness. But how is this consciousness coming and reaching us in our external body? Because soul is spiritual. So this consciousness gets routed through the mind. So you understand it this way. One of our senior monks, he plays with the words and he says, soul is the root of consciousness, root R-O-O-T. And mind is the route of consciousness, R-O-U-T-E. That's also root. Okay, so this is R-O-O-T, which is the soul. Mind is the root of consciousness, R-O-O-T. So this is again, mind is also subtle. So you have the same effect or same function that's performed on a spiritual level by the soul. That same energy gets transported to the mind, and where on a mental level, mind is handling that function. When that same function is then transferred, so it's getting the consciousness from the soul, mind in turn pushes the consciousness to our body. And what is the means with which it's actually pushing it? Through our brains. So when people say, think with your brains, there is some truth in it. But the answer is correct, but the answer is not complete. Okay, so the thinking, feeling, willing, everything, there is an aspect of brain involved, because brain is the seat of all knowledge, energy, and everything on a gross level. Same function, if it happens on a subtle level, I'll tell you what I mean by gross and subtle. When I die, my brain is gone because a whole physical body is gone, understand? But there are some impressions, I store it deep within the mind. There, deep within intelligence, deep within the subtle body. There are some impressions that our soul also carries. Soul carries all the memories of the spiritual world. When we go, that's why last week we were mentioning Bhakti Yoga is a very mystical process. When we practice Bhakti Yoga by chanting Hare Krishna, what we are actually doing is we are going back deep, digging deep within the memories of the soul and bring out the spiritual consciousness and spiritual memories from the soul. So much so, when we attain perfection in Bhakti Yoga, we will remember exactly what we were doing with Krishna in spiritual world. Can you believe it? Okay, so same way, even in modern psychology, they do that. They call it a psychoanalysis. If somebody has some deep trauma, they'll sit and they'll go through a session when they'll take them back to their childhood and they bring them back. But it happens only in this life. Some rare cases, they say, it actually goes from past life also. But Bhakti Yoga can go to your origin. It can even take you back to Krishna. It can make us remember what we were, how we looked, what we were doing, everything. Okay, so to understand this, I actually said, so the soul is the root of our consciousness. Mind is the route of consciousness, but each one of them, they act on a different level. Soul acts in spiritual level. We have that level of existence also. Slightly higher, we have the mental, intellectual existence. Their mind does the job. And one level higher, when we come to the physical body, in all of the physical body, the focus or the master of all the different senses that is actually managing is the brain, and brain is connected to mind in turn is connected to the soul. So this is how we understand the relationship of the same function, but it's happening at a different level. Now, if we say I'm thinking with my mind, is that right? It is right. It's still not complete. If I say I'm thinking with my brains, is that correct? It is correct, but not fully complete. As I said, there are some memories that you don't actually take it deep to your mind. It may be in your brain only. You may not actually remember. If I tell you what were you wearing, in your previous life, you may not remember, but some deep impressions you may still carry in your heart when you go to your next life also. Understand? So that level of memory that we are actually having on a subtle level with our intellect, with our intelligence, that gets carried from one life to the other. In the scriptures also, there are examples of how some personalities, some bhakti yogis, from one life to the other, they actually carry. Okay, so you will come across even modern days, some yogis claim, in my previous life, I was this. Is there truth? Potentially there is truth. Whether they are lying or not, that's up to them. But is it possible? Absolutely possible. It's there. Okay, so this is how it is explained. Okay, so brain has its brain, you can actually take it, it's like the agent of the mind to deal with the physical senses. But then mind is also, you can say, it's the agent of the soul, with which it's handling both subtle and gross body, like that. Did I answer you, Arya?
Yeah. So saying that mind would be considered as brain or heart.
Okay, originally our root of all emotions come from soul only in its pure form. Mind adds a bit more of its flavor because ego aspect and everything, they happen on a mental level. So it adds its own flavor. And when it comes to the gross level, you have the most tampered version of our true emotions, unfortunately. But by Bhakti Yoga, we actually go deeper and we purify our emotions. What I mean by that is, the more we perform Bhakti in its pure form, we actually take baby steps only. We may not be pure in our devotion. Slowly. But when we go deeper and we attain pure devotion, at that time, every emotion that we actually feel, every emotion that we express will be very positive, very soothing for others, very beneficial for others. Okay, so the true emotions come from the soul, and when it comes to mind and when it comes to physically externally, it is already corrupted. Converse is also true. Any external emotion, have you got this experience? Sometimes you may feel angry, someone did something like that. Let's say somebody comes and mildly slaps like you and on your hand like this. How dare you? It's actually, it's not like paining you, but your ego is hurt. Understand? It's not really the bodily pain that's driving you. You don't feel so much pain, excruciating pain. How much will this cost? How much will this pain? Nothing much. But the very fact somebody slapped you, it's not paining to your hand, but it's paining to your mind inside. So it feels the emotion and it adds so much. Understand? Converse is also true. When you go deeper from soul and when you act in pure devotional platform, even if something really bad happens, won't affect you. As much as in your false ego platform, something simple happens, it's magnifying the problem. Soul does exactly opposite. Soul makes us feel grounded that actually, you know what, this place is like that, don't worry about it. Try your best, but then be detached. That's a very liberated position to be in. Otherwise, if we are simply getting tossed around by our emotions and our physical body, then we'll go through a very, very distressful life, because even body will give up on us. There are instances when movie actors and actresses, they have committed suicide because they don't feel young anymore and they run out of market. Actually, they don't have the market anymore. There are people. There are pop stars who have done that. There are so many instances you will find, actually. People who are healthy, beautiful, but for them it's not enough. They can't simply handle it. So anything where we invest our energy, our focus, our time, everything, anything to do with our physical body, make no mistake, it will end up in pain only. No matter how much we try. There are people who do plastic surgery, for example, and then they do so many plastic surgeries. If you look at their original photo, actually they look beautiful. But they think, okay, I'll do nose job here, I'll do this one there, that one there, and it goes, and they just completely do a botched work. So much so that total beauty goes, and many instances they commit suicide because of that. So point I'm saying is that true emotions always come from within soul. But as of now, because we are not fully in Bhakti Yoga yet, not fully practiced, not pure even, we are not like topmost Bhakti Yogi yet, eventually we'll come to that platform. Initially, at least in theory, let us understand, unless we go down to the spiritual level, we will deal with all the negativities in this world. And the more we deal on bodily platform, there will be more negativities only. But if you look at even as we speak, there is like a fight between neighboring countries. Everywhere it's happening in Asia, happening in Europe, you name it, happening in North America, South America, everywhere. Can you believe the person actually thinks you just happen to be born slightly in the other side of the line. Now you are my enemy. You come to this line, suddenly you are my friend. Can you believe it? How superficial the basis of relationship is. So externals will always keep changing. But deep within, when we go to the spiritual platform, then we'll be able to relate to everyone. ISKCON, it has branches everywhere. even in Israel, Palestine. And people from both the Muslim as well as like Jew, they come together and they chant Hare Krishna and they are happy. You will see that in India where casteism is so much, even now, religion is like, so much. You will see people coming from different caste, different background completely. And they come together, chant, dance Krishna's name, everyone forgets actually. Like they are this body. Okay, so that's the real solution. So Prabhupada would say Krishna consciousness is the real United Nations that way. But it has to start from each one of us individually. So let us at least theoretically understand. Okay, currently I'm not in a position to bring out my real emotions, but let me understand I have existence at 3 levels. One is at a physical level, my body is there. Mental level also there is a body, as well as in spiritual level. Each level has got its own memories. Okay, superficial memories, brain, slightly subtle memories in the body, even more subtle memories. They are there within us. Okay. Hare Krishna. Thank you. I always say this. Questions is what that will make our classes very interesting. And I love this batch. Thank you, Arya. Nayonika.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I have two simple questions. One is, who is a brahmachari?
Yes.
And the second question is, I think, like you mentioned, we can please Krishna, but why do we need to please Krishna? Because Krishna is almighty and we are just mere human beings, you know.
Good question.
So, like, how is this even possible? Like, you know, he'll be actually pleased and he'll shower his blessings, and you know, we can live a blissful life.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Good
thank
question.
you.
I'll answer the first question first. Brahmachari. Who is a brahmachari? Achar means behavior. Brahmachari means one who acts on the platform that he or she is not the body, but they are spiritual. Okay, like Brahman. Brahman means spiritual. Brahma Achari. So there is like 2 words. One who, Achar means behavior, Brahma means spiritual. Brahma, one whose behavior is on the platform of Brahman is called a Brahmachari in its true sense. Now, if you ask me, you are calling yourself as a Brahmachari. Does that mean you are acting on the platform that you are not the body? No, we are trying. Basically, that's all. Like normally, they do that in India. I don't know whether they do here. Let's say if somebody is a doctor, MBBS, they put their name right next to their name, they put MBBS, and above MBBS, they put a line. That means they are currently students. They haven't become a doctor yet. Like that, if you like, you can put Ghanashyam, Govinda, thus Brahmachari, above Brahmachari, you can put a line. So, on a more simple terms, Brahmachari means those who are celibates, those who don't have any sexual life at all, who focus only on worshipping Krishna and engaging their time 24/7 in serving Krishna. Even the time we take for sleeping, that's only to, yes, there is a rest aspect, but the other aspect is, okay, let us rest. So next day morning, we can get up and we can start to do more seva for Krishna like that. Okay, so somebody can be married and they can also be brahmachari. So they are called the grahastha brahmachari. So even in our community, if you see, there are many families, you will see them all the time in the temple. They have their family, they have their kids, they have like their homes, everything, job, everything is there. Still, they dedicate their time and life for the service of Krishna. So they are also brahmacharis. They are called the grahastha brahmacharis. Likewise, vanaprasthas are there. People who take retired life. They don't work anymore outside. They may still in their home, but they still do Krishna bhakti. They are called vanaprastha brahmachari. Likewise, sannyasis are also brahmacharis. Okay, people who are in total renounced order. Okay, so that is brahmachari. Second question, very, very interesting question. Why should we please Krishna? That's I like that question. Why? Why should Krishna alone enjoy? If you tell me something where I can enjoy, it makes sense. Why should I make Krishna happy? First point we have to understand is Krishna is the source of all of us. Imagine you invest something in a company, you run a company. Do you think it's fair for you to expect, let's talk something very, very crude terms. Is it fair, do you think, for you to expect some profit coming out of that? Natural. Now, you may be a multi-billionaire. You may not even need that. Okay, but do you still think, I think it's fair for the guy running the shop to give the profit to the boss. Even though the boss is very, very great. He doesn't even need this. In fact, he doesn't even care about this one. Understand? Krishna is like that. We all come from Krishna. Krishna is almighty. Krishna is not in need of us at all. Krishna is always enjoying. Okay, so there is even one story, real story. Prabhupada actually says this. There was one German philosopher who visited India in early 1900s. He visited different places and he came back and he told his friend that I went to different temples and I saw so many different gods. Different gods doing so many different activity. Brahma is doing creation, Shiva is doing one activity, even Narayan is doing one activity. Narayan is having gata ready to attack, if somebody causes any trouble for devotees. Sudarshan Chakra also he has. But he says, I went to all these different temples. I saw Ganesh, I saw Kartikeya, I saw even, he says, Narayana, Vishnu, everyone I saw, everyone was doing some work. But I saw this one particular god, Krishna. He's just playing flute, playing with his girlfriends, and he doesn't seem to be doing any work. I think he must be the boss. Normally, that's how it works, right? In any company, everyone will work except the boss. So he came to that conclusion, actually. And later on, he takes initiation from Prabhupada's guru, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Okay, so Prabhupada says this is intelligence. He has come to the intelligence, like proper conclusion that, yeah, somebody who is always enjoying means he has no trouble. That means he must be the boss. So you'll never see Krishna like, always playing flute. Have you seen any other god doing? No, even Narasimha is like ripping people apart. So many activities they do. But Krishna is always like, all play and no work. That is Krishna. So Krishna actually doesn't need us. We need Krishna. But why does Krishna actually still tell us, in Bhagavad Gita, surrender unto me? If I'll be very honest, if somebody comes and tells me, okay, Prabhu, I want to surrender to you, I bow down to you, how am I going to be happy with that? You think about it. It's not even going to please even one other fellow human. How should this bowing down please the Supreme Lord? That's not the point. Point for Krishna telling us here is, you do this so you will be happy. Your ego will go down. Understand? You will become humble. Many times have you come across this? You try so hard and then when you lose, if your ego is still strong, it will cause you so much pain. How long will that pain last? Until you come to the conclusion, anyway, chodo, it's not going to work for me. Once moment you let go, you will be happy. Like that, you understand? So Krishna wants us to go through that humility. If we remain humble, we can always be happy. That's why normal Vedic culture is we always remain humble. We say pranam. People may say namaste. People say Hare Krishna. People say Ram Ram. Everything because we want to remain humble. We don't want to walk like. Does any religion teach you like that? Walk like a lion. Nobody actually teaches us like that. It teaches us to be humble. So Krishna says all this for our benefit. As you rightly said, Krishna is not in need of any of this. But Krishna, does he feel pleasure when he sees us? Definitely. How? I'll give you an example. You take Father's Day, Mother's Day. We may not celebrate from our culture much of that. Birthday, at least we may celebrate. Our birthday, sometimes our parents' birthday or anniversary day, we will. Even when we were kids, we will get money from them, go to the shop, buy some gift for them, wrap it and bring it back to who? To parents again. You understand? But parents, knowing very well, it's actually, you are getting the money only to buy gifts back for them, they still give. Why? And when you bring back the gift, they feel very happy. Oh, you brought this for me. This is what I was actually looking for. Thank you very much. Just to make us, there's a certain happiness that comes. Look what my son or daughter has brought, and they'll keep showing to everyone. Understand? Krishna is our Supreme Father. He has also got that feeling. In fact, he has that feeling in the purest form. That's why our mothers and parents, they have that feeling here also. Understand? So when whatever Krishna has, everything Krishna has given us, if we offer a little bit back to him, he feels very happy. Not because he is in need of that. Just like you may buy one small pen to your father on your marriage anniversary day of your parents, for example. And they'll be celebrating, wow, you got this pen. Actually, they may never use that pen, but they feel happy. Oh, my child has actually grown up and they have brought this for me. That feeling is there. Same feeling of reciprocation, Krishna also feels. That's why we need to do. So we should not think Krishna doesn't need me. Why should I actually work? It doesn't work like that. Krishna actually feels enjoyment when it actually comes there. That's why. Why should we give Krishna enjoyment? I'll finish with this. I'll finish this question alone. I'll take a couple more. Krishna, there is an analogy that's given. Just like if you take a plant and you want to benefit every leaf in the plant, What is the easiest way to do? You can't go sprinkle water on each one. It won't get nourishment that way. If you want to really nourish the leaf, you have to water the root. So Krishna is the root. From Krishna only we all have come. So if you please Krishna, if you water Krishna, if you offer everything to Krishna, then everyone in this world can be happy. Okay? Thank you. Geeta Priya and then Prashant.
Hare Krishna, Guru Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Question is, we discussed that with Bhakti Yoga, singing can be included. These days, like when cooking, we sing some bhajans, or that would that be considered in the Bhakti Yoga?
100%.
Basically means a multitasking kind of things.
100%. So you can do multitasking. In fact, if you can do singing and doing other work, that is best. Especially for Kali Yuga. There is a verse shloka that says Kirtaniya Sada Hari. Kirtaniya means to sing. Sada means 24/7. Okay. Sada Hari means you do Kirtan. Kirtan means glorification. Glorification. Sada always for Hari. That's what it means. So if you can sing and do any other task, that is best. It's not a flaw, it's a feature. If you can do, that is best. I can't do that. I can't sing, so I put Kirtan in my headphone and I actually do. Because if I start to talk, then my mind gets distracted. So I put it on headphone and I do, or I put in speaker and I actually do. But if you can sing along and you can actually do 100%, that is bhakti. Hare Krishna. Prashant.
Hare Krishna, Guruji.
Hare Krishna.
My question is that, like, what is called good karma and bad karma, and how do we get forgiveness from God about the bad karma, and how can we change bad karma to good karma?
Good question. Okay, I'll take one step at a time. What is good karma and bad karma? Even before we go there, I'll take even a step back. Further, karma means activity. Good karma means good activity. Bad karma means bad activity. Okay. What is good karma and what is bad karma? This is given in the Shastras only. It cannot be based on our own understanding. I'll tell you why. If you take a terrorist, in terrorist's own mind, he is not killing people, planting a bomb, thinking that this is the most bad thing and I'm the most bad guy. No. Terrorists, they are usually brainwashed to think they are victimized. They are the victims and they are actually the downtrodden people. They are fighting against the evil people. This is the mentality with which they go. But you go and ask the victims will say, hey, we are being victimized here. That guy is the bad guy. But you go to the terrorist will point at the other guy. You understand? When you go on a relative level, it's very hard for us to come to a proper conclusion. So what is good and what is bad is not to be determined for us. It should be determined based on Shastras. Why Shastras? Shastras are words of God. God has created everyone, so He knows on the biggest scheme of things, on the whole ecosystem, what is good and what is not good. I'll give you another example. Now we may think, I'm just killing a plant. Compared to animal, killing plant is okay. But you go and ask the plant will actually shed tears. I still have another, 10 years to live. This guy is actually plucking me already. It may think like that. So everywhere, if you see any activity that you want to do in this world, if you go based simply on our own understanding, we will do bad karma. And that's a problem. Today, somebody asked me a question. They watched the video and they texted me about suicide. If a person commits suicide, I had told in one of the videos that the person will become a ghost. So this person has actually watched the video and he asked me, if someone else comes and kills someone prematurely, will this person become a ghost? I said, no. You become a ghost only when you commit suicide yourself. If somebody else comes and kills, then you are just taking the karma of the other person, basically. That's all. Okay. So point we have to understand is how much ever carefully we think we are doing it, actually, it still causes pain to someone else. For example, you may go for an interview. Okay, there is only one job, 3 of you go. And you go there and you take the job and you walk away. Now, we may be feeling happy. But there may be one other person who's needing the job much more desperately, for example. So any activity which, now here we can't be blamed because we also need a job, so we went and got it. But we have to understand in this world, any activity that we do, if we think just in terms of our own intelligence, we won't see the full picture. Okay, behind the scene, there is like so many different things that happens. Thank God we are not Krishna. Only Krishna, he can see. Prabhupada in one class, he gives an example. He says sometimes, big landlords, people who are rich, they go and they offer prayer to Krishna. Krishna, please protect my wealth. In some instance, right behind that same rich person, a thief will also go and pray to Krishna. Krishna, please, that landlord who is going, I want to steal his wealth, please help me. Now Prabhupada says, who will Krishna help now? Both of them are going to Krishna. So even Krishna's job is not easy. So coming back to the question, what is good and what is bad? To understand that, we have to go to Shastra. But even if you go to Shastra, to understand about what is good karma and bad karma is very, very difficult. Who says this? Krishna himself says in Bhagavad Gita. I'll share the verse in the group. You can actually go through. Krishna says, Kim karma, kim akarmeti, kavayo api atra mohitaha. Krishna says, what is good karma? What is bad karma? What is prohibited karma? Even the most intelligent person. Kavi means intelligent person. Kavayo api atra mohitaha. Mohitaha means even they are confused. Illusion. So to understand what is good karma and what is bad karma, to do that is very, very difficult. So Krishna says, best is you surrender to me and leave the karma to me and I will deal with it. So that's the answer to your last question. How can I convert bad karma to good karma? Simply by surrendering to Krishna. You can also read this verse. You all have Bhagavad Gitas now. I will be quoting the verses. I will first say the verse and I'll tell the verse number. You make a note and you go through. I'll also post it in the group. Okay, we can keep it interactive that way. So if you go to Bhagavad Gita, 18th chapter, 66th verse, 18.66, this verse is given as the conclusion, like climax of the whole Bhagavad Gita. Like normally if you watch a movie or you watch even a cricket match, you watch everything and last one ball, which is going to be the deal maker or deal breaker, if you walk out, you will think like, no, I want to know the result. Same way, if you see your movie, for example, you go there, watch every scene of the movie except the climax. Again, you will think, what's the point in watching this movie? I don't even know the climax. So Bhagavad Gita also same way. Krishna gives so many instructions. After giving so many instructions, Krishna says the conclusion of the entire Gita in this one single verse. 18.66. Sarvadharman paritejya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami masuchaha. So Krishna says, abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. This is Krishna's promise. Okay, so Krishna says, you want to get rid of your bad karma, you simply come to me. I will wipe out all your record. Don't worry about it. Ma suchaha. Ma suchaha means don't fear. Become fearless. I am there. Main hu na. This is Krishna's dialogue, not Shah Rukh Khan's. So Krishna is saying, I will take care of you. Don't worry. You simply surrender to me. This is what Krishna is saying. So that's how we get rid of bad karma. Okay. Hare Krishna. Strijan. It's 7:54. Can I take a Strijan your question next week? Otherwise, you can text me. I will answer in the video. Okay, it's just getting too late. Okay, let's finish and please do keep chanting. Before I forget, I'll post this message in the group as well. If any of you have missed last week's session on Japa, we are having one catch-up session tomorrow. This is your second and final chance. I will post the link. It's not the same link as the one we use for our Friday class. So you use this link to join, which I'll actually post tonight. Okay, so you can come. It will be tomorrow evening, 6 o'clock for half an hour. So we'll teach you what you missed last week. This is only for those who missed. Those who have already attended, don't worry, you didn't miss anything. I'm just going to repeat what we actually shared last week. Okay, so tomorrow evening, 6 p.m., it's an online session. But in order to do that, you need to have beats. If you don't have beats, watch, and then I'll tell you how to get beats. But if you can get beats before that, it's better. Okay. Shri Shri Radha Gopinath Bhagwan ki jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Krishna Bhagwan ki jai. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai.